do you remember me? I'm Belinda from Belinda's Book Nook. It's been a minute. I mean, we have not been together for maybe a month or more. So I thought I better get on it because I'm so out of practice and and we need to chat. And I miss you guys. Let's just first get the elephant in the room. Dirty hair today, not washed. And I thought that, we should appreciate each other in our entirety. And some days I am not going to be all tidied. So I am going to make the best of what I can with this mop while we talk because it looks bad. But what are you going to do? I didn't want to wait until I wash my hair because we've already had too much time away. I want to play catch up. I want to tell you what's happened. I've just, some personal matters came up. And I am on top of that, compounded with that, I had a big reading slump. I failed epically on my challenge for some of the books that I was trying to read for my challenge and the books that I had in my regular TBR. I hate to say that because, we're just like readers. That's what we do. We read, right? And here I am not having that happen. And we are now in May. I think March was... Did we talk in April at all? I don't know. I feel like we didn't. I feel like March was the last time. And so let's take a look at, I have a big mess of goodies all over the floor here of things. I'm going to do today's video to kind of just like, let's just reintroduce ourselves for people that are new here. If there's anybody here new. I mean, I don't even know if the people that were here before are still looking, but I'm back and hoping that you will rejoin me on this journey. But anybody new, my name is Belinda. I love books. I love to chat about books and subscribe. That's what my son says, say subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I just like to talk about books. So let's take a peek at my book journal. It was really going well. I was trying to, play catch up and was on my way there when some matters came up that just put me, just knocked me off my game. So, I'm just going to be honest about that and say that, it's personal matters. Obviously, I'm not going to go into detail, but yeah, so I'm like, but at the same note, I also have some really fun news that I'll tell you guys at the end of the video. So I won't be a Debbie Downer for the whole video. You'll be like, no, next video. I don't need to see this video. But it just definitely, impacted, it's interesting how, your reading does change based on what's going on within your circle and what's going on in the world. I think that during the earlier parts of the pandemic, I was like, having a lot of issues of focus. Some people kind of went in and were able to find really great escape during the pandemic. We had all of the racial unrest going on in the country and a different president. And I didn't roll my eyes. I did. And so, I couldn't find focus. So I did read that year. I just didn't have as an enriching experience as I normally would. So sometimes in life, things come about that just push you off your game. And sometimes they're not traumatic. Sometimes they are small things. They're like things like, I know right now I'm getting ready to pop into gardening season. So I just know there's like a dip in my reading and then it'll pick up again in the fall. And then, it'll keep going and then it dips a little. And then, I don't have a very consistent, with anything in life, that's just diet and exercise, all those things. I am not a steady. I will make my attempts and then I have, I have a cookie or, whatever. I don't exercise for a while. So, so the same goes with my reading. So that said, I had my challenge, which is still in place, and I do have some credits that I will go through here and find them. But I was gonna bank a bunch of points in April. This is what I intended on reading. That would have gotten me points in April. Only one of them I was able to complete, and the rest I didn't even, well, I touched one of them, two of them, but that was it. So I had, for April, I had, oh gosh, come on. John Lewis's Carry On, Reflections for a New Generation. This is the only book that I completed in April. And it's really tiny. So, and it was amazing. It was great. And I miss him and I love him. And there's lots of flags, and everybody should read it and flag it and remember it and cherish it. It was almost, I mean, he was already diagnosed and very ill when he was writing this. He wanted to be able to say these words, and what a blessing to be able to say things that you want to say before you pass on, right? So, excellent book. This one will give me credit in my 90-day challenge. So I'm happy about that. Want to hear the fails? Here they come. So I had another one that was going to be like easy, bank, right? I was like, yeah, this is going to be easy because it's small. Home Home by Lisa Allen Augustini. This one was, I think she's a Trinidadian Canadian, right? She's from Trinidad and she lives in Canada. The author, the story is based on a character that is a young girl. It's kind of a coming of age story, I believe. She's moved, or her family has sent her to, I think they are family or friends in Canada. Something has occurred, I think, that has made it so that she had to go to Canada to kind of work that out. And it's her experience of being somewhere else, what's not home, what she defines as home, being, from the Caribbean, and in the experience of being in Canada and the reception there, and all sorts of that. So, a good book. I haven't started. I mean, I started it, but I didn't, let me see, how far did I even get into it? I got about 30 pages in. And I should have finished it because that would have been 2 easy points. 2 easy points. I wish that I could change my rules, but I'm not. I'm going to stick with it. This is not going to make it. I still want to read it. I still want to read all of the books that I said I was going to read. I'm just not going to get credit for it to help me buy more books. And another one that I did was and started and loved, and I told you about this one, is The Sum of Us. This is going to be another one of those ones I guarantee that I'm going to recommend that people all pick up. I just love how it's written. She kind of, Heather McGee, I saw her speak in this past summer in Martha's Vineyard, and I just had to buy her book. And sometimes you hear somebody talk and you're like, oh, I didn't know who you are, but now you are on my radar, and now you will be on my radar forever. So I really am intrigued to read this. It's The Sum of Us, what racism costs everyone and how we can prosper together. I think that a lot of times books come out and they talk about racism, and they all do a good job, but sometimes it's that same focus of there's the racist and the victim, right? And the victim is usually not the person that is, causing the conflict. Whereas this book takes another approach in that how it affects everyone. It's not something that just hurts the people that are impacted by racism and bias and things like that. It impacts all aspects of our life and all groups and everyone. So I like that approach because I think that then people feel more vested in reading a book like this because they can see how it does cause problems and makes our all, overall our all existence very challenging and hard. So didn't finish it. I just started it. I was like, 30 must be like the lucky number. 30 pages in, flagging started. Definitely gonna finish this one because it's just, I feel like this is gonna be one of my top ones too for a nonfiction for this year. So this one I want to finish. This one also would have given me a point, but it's not now because we are now in May. So I missed that slot. Another one that I had was the Tayari Jones book. This is just going to be fun and light palette cleanser because I've had that one there, and also the John Lewis is a little bit too heavy at some points in it as well. So this one I had read An American Marriage when that came out several years back, and then people kept talking about this one and they were like, it's great, you should read it. And I keep people saying it's good, this is better than even the American An American Marriage. And let's say I did like An American Marriage. I did think there was a lot of hype, way too much hype for the book. And I did have some criticism, if I recall, back then when I did read it, but I did appreciate it. And I wanted to check out this one to see why people were receptive to this one. This one, if you don't know what this is about, it says, with the opening line of Silver Sparrow, my father, James Witherspoon, is a bigamist. Author Tayari Jones unveils a breathtaking story about a man's deception, a family's complicity, and two teenage girls caught in the middle. Set in Atlanta in the 1980s, the novel revolves around James Witherspoon's two families, the public one and the secret one. When the daughters of each family meet and form a friendship, only one of them knows they are sisters. It's a relationship destined to explode. This is a stunning novel from an author the Atlantic Journal-Constitution deemed one of the most important writers of her generation. So, yeah, I think it'd be interesting, and a little family drama in there. So that was one. Another book, this would have given me credit. Now, this next book would not have given me credit. It's not, I don't own it. It's from the library, and it is actually on hijack because I believe was due. Okay, so I think it was due earlier this week. Good thing they don't know I have a YouTube channel. They'll be like, we know you know it. Because I think I had, like the thing in here, I think is when I first took it out. Yeah, and I renewed it. I think I have one more renewal. I wanted to read this one, Cherish Vera by Bethany St. Morrow. I loved her first book, Mem. I highly recommend it. Very small, really cool, kind of futuristic book, maybe fantasy type book. It's so good. This is so good. I'm sure I've talked about it several times on the channel. I know I did a long time ago when I read it. I think I did a book review on it. So if you want to look back, you can find that one. But this is just a newer book by her. It's another fiction. This one here kind of follows two girls, Cherish and what is her friend's name? Farah. They're two black girls, and one is adopted by a white family, and the other one is kind of, Cherish, I believe, is kind of, isn't it right? Cherish is the one that's adopted by her white family, and they're wealthy. And Farah is kind of, she's a bit envious because things have turned upside down with her family. And so she's kind of envious of the way that this other girl's getting doted on by her adopted parents. And it talks kind of about issues of race, also, having parents that aren't of the same background, and how that may affect a child and that child's view of the world and how they present themselves in the world. I have not finished. I just started probably page 30. Let's just take a peek at where it says it, because I'll just laugh so hard. Oh no, the bookmark came out, because that's not my bookmark. I didn't get that far. I don't think so. Let me see. No, it is. I'm at page 60. So, so I think I'm going to keep it and finish it, because I like her, this author, and I do want to read another book of hers. So since I have it, and I probably won't be returning it anytime soon, I best just finish it. So there's that. The other thing that I think I forgot to tell you guys, I started March, reading August Wilson's plays. I want to read them all, and I've been buying them and I started with Joe Turner's Come and Gone, which is this one, and I read this one in February, I think I read this one. This is because I never do wrap-ups. I never just talk about everything I read. And I really enjoyed it. So my intention was for this month to read Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. And I have that one somewhere. It's not in this pile. But I do have that one, and I want to read that one. So, ideally I read one a month until I finish them. And I think that what I've heard is that when you read them, and I think I'm not really reading them in the right order. I think this was the first one. But I think that the next one, I think Ma Rainey's is not the next one in order. But I kind of want to read them somewhat in order, because people say it's a good snapshot of America in the different time periods, race relations wise, etc. And so I thought that would be cool. And I've never really been a play reader. Not because they're bad, it's just because I just haven't come across something or put myself in the position to come across something that really interests me. But I really enjoyed this one. So I'm hoping that I'm going to enjoy the rest of them. I know Ma Rainey's is also a movie that they made, and I don't want to watch that. I never did get a chance to watch it, so I don't want to watch it until I read that. So I still have that that on my radar. So those were the things that I wanted to do in April, and those were the fails in April. What to do? May. So May is now, I mean, there's probably other things, but usually in May I do Springathon, and I have a couple books. I'll come back and do another video and talk to you about what I want to read. And my Springathon is not going to just be May. It's going to go until spring is over, and that will probably help me finish some of the books that I'm thinking, because now I'm torn. I have these books that I've started and I want to finish them, but I also have new books that I want to read for that. So it may just be a blur that I'm just gonna kind of be mingling in some of the Springathon to get some of them, at least one of them, read in the time frame, and try to do the April. Because one thing I also didn't I? Oh, I didn't. I was going to say in April I put all of the books in here. Well, usually I'll do a hard, like I put the title and I get it all ready, and it's set in stone, means it needs to be read. I haven't done that in April, but I really, in the end of the day, right? It does not matter whether I put it in April or May. I still want, these were the books I wanted to read in April, so I want to try to get to them. So I am going to try to definitely do the Cherish so I can give it back to the library. The Ma Rainey's, I definitely want to get to. The Some of Us, I'm going to say that about every book. It's so crazy. What do I not want to read? We're going to see what happens. I'm hoping that this reading slump is over so that I can kind of focus and get there. But there are some other news I'm going to tell you in a minute. Is also why my time is going to be have to be adjusted, because I'm extremely tired because of this. And I also, like I told you before, oh my God, this dirty hair, this dirty hair. Okay, if I stop talking about it, you won't be drawn to look at it. Just look here in my eyes. So I have, I'm a bit loopy because I have some exciting news to share with you guys of why I'm a little bit tired. And I'm going to share that now because I don't know how long I've been talking. And then I'm going to immediately take a break and record my Springathon thoughts, TBR, for this year, or books that I think that I want to get into this year that would be, wonderful for Springathon. But the great and exciting news is that we got a puppy. I'm super excited. She's been here now. She's been here a week, officially a week now, and a few days. And I'm tired. I'm loopy because I am really being strict at trying to make less accidents in the house and more happenings outside of the house. So I am waking up till we get to the point where her bladder is running and holding itself through the whole night. And so it's almost like, when I had kids and you're waking up in the night, I'm just, instead of getting a bottle, I'm like waking up, putting my jeans on, putting a sweatshirt on, and going outside to the bathroom. So I'm really excited about her. I know that this is only a small sliver and then the rest is good. We are at the nippy stage too. She's got the baby teeth that are definitely sharp. I took one in one of my fingers here that I was like, ooh. But really excited about that. So she will be occupying a lot of my time because I obviously want to give her attention and help train her and all of that. So that may affect what actually happens. Let's just see at the end of May what we get done. If I get one book done, I'll be happy. At this point, I only did one in April. So this is definitely going to affect the numbers game at the end of the year. But at this point, sometimes you just have to accept, you know, I had some other things that were going on that just took my mind away from reading, and that's okay. You know, I think that we have to be kind to ourselves when that happens and provide a little grace for ourselves. But I do have things that I want to read, and I will come back to you guys and talk to you guys about the springathon books. I can feel myself right now getting tired, or like I could go like this and just go to sleep probably right on camera. That's how tired I am. But this too shall pass. But oh, and her name is Ella. If you're interested, that's my puppy's name, and we are very excited to have her. And I will eventually show some, you know, when I do video, when I start getting back into the garden and do a vlog, I'll put her in the video so you can see her, because she's really cute. But that's it. I'm going to come back and talk to you guys about my spring plans of reading for Springathon. And let me know what you guys have been reading. I just feel like I missed everything. I missed everything. What have you guys, I think we all were still talking in March. So what happened in April? What did you read in April? What were the flops? And tell me some new releases. I am so out of the game. I'm off Instagram. I've been pretty much off of BookTube. And so I don't even know what I should be looking forward to. Any books that you read that you think that I might like, just share it in the comments, because I feel so disconnected and I want to get back. I want to get my roots back in and get our routine going, and, you know, and get my mojo. I think that will help with the reading slump, you know, because, oh, and you know what I just realized looking down at my pile that I didn't mention? You know, so Ida and I are an item this year. I didn't finish this either. So this is yet another book that I need to finish. So my May is going to be pretty much April, with maybe a sprinkle of Springathon. I may end up just doing the Springathon in June with the Karubathon stuff. Usually I go up till we hit the first day of summer, so that's like June 20 something. So technically I have a good window here to get something happening. I just have to sit down and do it without falling asleep. Puppy's taking up time. Anyway, I also need to update my journal with April, and then I think what I'll do is put my May calendar in. And I'm still, even though I'm reading these in May, they will be April, I'm going to keep them in the April slot just because this for uniform sake. And I'll write in it the dates that I read, the actual dates I read them. Because I'm not going to beat myself up for that. No, not at all. Anyway, let me know what you guys are doing, what you're reading, how you been. I missed you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!